Welcome back to the chilly winter wonderland that is my life.
And Pichu is
Walking
still with
in a
you.
winter wonderland.
You're still with us. And we're going to use our new thermal visor that we picked up from that pirate base. Never mind how I managed to escape. And also, Cordite. Cordite is weak to super missiles. So make sure you brought both of them. Now we can, I said now we can...
Do something.
Why?
I think that was just there for the sake of a demonstration. Nothing more. Or
Oh,
you gotta
that's-
scan it.
Or
Oh, no, you gotta
thermal-
shoot it with
okay.
a,
So it's
yeah,
this odd thing, like, again, the thermal visor will show you power-up points that can only be visible and interacted. Like, that's the funny thing. I don't think if you shoot at it with the wave beam, it will activate unless the thermal visor is on, which makes no sense. Like, it should still be there.
You know, something I don't think anyone's asked. You know those sections when you're going through as ball form, you see like little bridges that seem like they were made specifically for ball form in mind?
It just is what it is. It's like the same reason. It's like asking why there's loop-de-loops all across Speed Highway.
It's like asking
Right.
why are there doors in the Space Pirates' own base that we can open but they can't. Anyway,
Well, to be fair,
boy.
you do say that, Logan, but technically Prime did actually birth that justification of why anyone could go through those doors.
Oh, it's the
let's do it.
devil thing. What's the name of those rock guys from Breath of the Wild again?
Talus?
Talus.
It's a
But
Talus.
this one's it, which actually, with the whole T thing, meet Thardus. I believe that's its name.
Ryan,
Yeah,
Thardus? Well, it hurts.
So the way this is going to work is we need to use the thermal visor to attack wherever its core. I don't know how this works, but like its core likes to move. Oh, jeez! But whenever you break it off, it gets super bright. So find where the that's Phazon.
Oh,
It's living Phazon.
that explains a lot.
His face.
So go ahead.
I was about to say, speaking of Phazon,
Uh-oh.
would it have been established at this point, or is that not something they touch upon until a later game?
Oh no, they've already touched upon it though. It's mostly a thing where you have to pretty much read between the scan logs in order to figure
There's
out.
literally an entire level called Phazon Mines.
All right. I
Which
just
is-
was wondering if they went into like a whole lot of detail about it up before 2, because I'm
There
pretty
we go.
sure 2 is where it really starts becoming a mainstay.
Oh yeah, that's the whole like crux of the trilogy. So yeah, you have to find what current core of Phazon is active with the thermal visor, reveal it, but then the energy influx, I guess, whatever, will be so high you have to take off the thermal visor and then just blast it normally, unfreeze, and then blast it normally with a super missile. Bam.
Totally not a pleasant experience.
And rinse and repeat. Uh-oh. What's he doing?
He's trying to play charades, I guess.
Oh jeez.
Okay,
Oh,
3
jeez.
words.
Careful.
Sounds
Um,
like...
How do you tell he's
Bear.
holding up a 3? It looks like he has like 2 fingers.
Raise the roof.
The sound of music.
What?
The hills are alive with the sound of Phazon.
Wait, I got it. Harry Potter. Back when they used to make, back when Pixar made commercials that didn't have any footage from their movies, just random footage they made for kicks.
No, DreamWorks did the same thing.
Did they?
Yeah, no, DreamWorks, I remember was so odd where, like, whenever they were doing, like, a trailer or, like, a commercial for their movie, especially in DVDs and stuff, like, for other, movies, like, they were so weird in that they didn't, like, actually, they didn't just show you the movie. They had, like, oh, here's interviews with all the actors, and here's interviews with all the voice actors
that
and stuff.
I do remember, because I remember seeing that for Madagascar back when I got Shrek 2.
And I remember seeing that for Over the Hedge. Meanwhile, I'm just like, just show me the damn movie. I don't care that Bruce Willis was involved in it as the raccoon. Just let me know if the movie is gonna be good or not. Just let me know if it's gonna be good.
To be fair, Pixar still is still doing that with the likes of, say, Toy Story.
Toy Story 4.
Yeah, Toy Story 4, which I'm honestly not sure how to feel about that existing, because 3 just seems like a perfect ending to me.
Right. It was the perfect age, and I guess now they're gonna loop back. So, Toy Story, the Toy Story trilogy was a perfect example of intellectual property, a cartoon show. It was the perfect example of like a series, a franchise aging with its audience, its original audience. So, yes, I can see where they're going with this. Where who knows? Maybe we're gonna have a whole nother Toy Story trilogy in which now they're gonna now they're resetting. Now they're gonna age up with a whole new audience of people. But unfortunately, that now means that for all of the original audience of that first trilogy, now it's just like I don't think it's alienated, but I feel like excluded. We're like I'm not gonna get a lot of it now because I'm clearly not the age range as the girl who brought the toy, who got the toys.
Well, what if say you have a we'll say if you had a relative that was that age?
Well, then that'll be perfect for my nephew and my niece. That'll be perfect for my nieces then.
Weird.
I'm just saying I probably am not. I'm just saying I'm personally not going to probably have as much of an emotional connection with any continuations of the Toy Story franchise now.
It just seems so weird that you guys are talking about. It seems like every one of my friends around my age are already talking about how they have like nephews and nieces. Meanwhile, the closest thing I ever have to a nephew is my brother's cat.
I have a nephew and a niece. My my brother is 10 years older than me, so.
Come on.
And yeah, if it's not immediately obvious, folks, this boss fight drags.
I'm not.
Yes, especially now I have no more missiles.
Although, if I'm not mistaken, I think this one there is also an exploit to this one that could pretty much whittle it down in no time flat. I just don't know what it is.
And clearly, Logan doesn't either.
I don't know that.
Oop. Well, hey, that's something you can look into your next playthrough.
Oh, there. Oh, and here's something funny coming up. All of the rocks collapse and fall to the earth. And thank goodness we don't get crushed by any of it.
Thank goodness.
Yeah.
Boom. Oh, geez, run!
Run for it!
Oh, wait, watch.
Oh, that was a thing.
Ow!
Fucking
Sheesh.
really?
Ow.
Way to ruin the moment.
But hey, speaking of Metroid 2.
Ooh.
Wow.
Spider Ball.
Great. Now it's going to be extra cramped in this morph ball.
Ow.
Just look at that thing.
It actually looks really like inversely weird. Like this game more especially like plays more with the fact that we're just transforming into a new like entity and not just curling up into a ball.
Yeah.
So yeah, now we got access to the spider ball, which is not nearly as exploitable as it was in the 2D games, but but to be fair, that's for good reason because well, in the 3D space, that would just mean just no boundaries whatsoever. So they relegate them to these rails.
It'd be kind of like if.
So in Metroid 2 you could literally go onto any wall surface?
Pretty much, yeah.
Wow.
Like you could cling on to just about anything.
But yeah, here it's just these little rail tracks we've been seeing everywhere.
You know what? Imagine if for Metroid Prime 4 or just any 3D Metroid game, they do let the Spire Ball be kind of like with Breath of the Wild, where it's like you literally can crawl around on anything.
By that point, they may as well just restructure the game entirely to something akin to Breath of the Wild.
Well, I was gonna say like that would be very good, but that would take some expert level design to make like intuitive and not like now I gotta rub my head against every little wall to find these collectibles.
Just the Metroid series is designed in such an intricate way that, like, if you really want to keep all those fundamentals, especially in the 3D space, you're gonna have to make some compromises.
Right.
It's linear, but not linear at the same time.
Right.
Well, see, that's the thing.
Not everyone can be a Spider Link.
Well, no, that's the thing is that what also helped Breath of the Wild so much is that it's such an open-ended game. You can do things in any order you please. With Metroid Prime, especially, you can't really do that as much.
Right.
So they can't. So, if the Spider Ball allows you to go everywhere, then I see that being a very late end game power-up, if anything. Oh, jeez.
Ah!
Oh, jeez.
Thank God that didn't break my visor.
Yeah.
Seriously. But yeah, the reflections and everything. It's like the game looks great until you see a kind of a low poly Samus face, and you kind of scared into.
You say low poly? I think it's too poly for this generation.
That's why you only see it like twice.
You see the eyes up close.
You should see some of the actual concept art of those rigged face models. Some of them just look so uncanny by today's standards.
Yeah. What do you mean?
You know, kind of like how there was concept art for Mario Strikers Charge, where you basically saw face rigs for like emotions for every single character in that game.
Yeah.
They have one for Samus.
Basically, yeah.
But she shows like no. Why would they go to such lengths when it's a first person game? How often?
I'm guessing that there was a point where you could actually see your face multiple times in cutscenes, and that's when they do it.
But even in cutscenes, it's been in Samus's official model since the original. Her visor only shows her upper bridge of her nose and her eyes.
Mm-hmm. No, what I mean is that I think there might have been a point in development where they did have cutscenes, and in those cutscenes she maybe took her helmet off more often.
Which would be silly, but I guess that would make sense.
Well, to be fair, they were more so close up. You only saw up to her nose and eyes, so they were probably maybe Samus was going to have multiple expressions depending on how it was activated. But I guess they figured not only would that be a little bit of a time, it would be kind of a waste considering it only happened so sparingly, but also the fact that
here we go.
For the most part, it only happens whenever you shoot something.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
So they just stuck to one facial expression and left it at that.
Who is Samus's current voice actress?
Fuck if I know.
Yeah, I was about to say, because I know in Smash Ultimate they recycle her clips from Brawl, where she was voiced by the same actress that actually voiced Carmelita in Sly 2.
Oh. I know this is, I think, Jennifer Hale.
Yeah, this is Jennifer Hale. She voiced her in all three Prime games.
Which, as much as I love Jennifer Hale, I'm not sure if that's really a whole lot to write home about, because all she does is grunts and whatnot.
I know.
And screams if you die.
Truth be told, if they were ever to make Samus talk again, I would appreciate if they actually went the extra mile to bring back Jennifer Hale, because I think she does a pretty good job. Especially, again, with that opening narration that got cut from the final game.
So who played her in Other M?
I don't know,
No, I didn't.
And
Jessica Martin.
honestly, I don't care.
Jessica Gordon? Jessica Martin. What else has she done?
A game called Recore.
Oh,
Recore.
She plays the protagonist of Recore?
She plays Natalie, Bright, and Violet.
Huh.
James, you played that more than me. Who those
Whoops.
I think one of them might be the main character, but honestly, I haven't got far enough into the game to know the rest.
I do want to play more of that game.
Me too. It's just, it's been a while, and honestly, the reviews of the game didn't really, and not to mention the whole somewhat repetitive structure of the game didn't really enlighten me to really continue it. So there's that.
But it was
Is
Mega Man
Recore
X
the other
developed,
game that
wasn't it?
Inafune made?
More or less, yeah. Concepts were involved with the game's development, along with Armature, who, coincidentally enough, were comprised of ex-Retro Studios developers.
Oh. For what it's worth, the whole, there we go. For what it's worth, the robot buddies helping you with platforming stuff was pretty neat.
And, for what it's worth, I do kind of appreciate the idea of them trying to do a pseudo 3D Mega Man X game.
Magmore, watch out!
Ooh. Anyway,
He's dead.
Clearly, but anyway, I do appreciate the notion of them trying to make a pseudo 3D take on Mega Man X that's not a piece of crap, but otherwise, that's really all it has going for it. Just that and the robot buddies.
Actually, it's funny. It's funny you mentioned the Mega Man X parallels. I know they had, and there is footage of it. They did plan on making a Prime-esque Mega Man X game, but it ended up being canned
for good reason. It didn't look the least bit appealing.
Yeah.
I imagine so.
It was literally trying to follow a similar fad to say the grittier space shooters.
Bomberman Zero?
Something like that, yes.
I think it's called Bomberman Zero or something like that.
What's kind of funny is
Zero,
that...
Ag Zero.
Ag Zero, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
The
Foosball.
funny thing is that of all the Mega Man series, X is probably the one that probably would have the easiest time trying to go for a more mature type of setting, but I think the problem with that is that it was a little too try-hard.
Oh yeah, no, it was, like I said, how could I discern this from any other generic gritty space shooter? Dead Space or Gears of War or whatnot. Like it was clearly going for that fad. And I mean, I do feel sad that most of the Mega Man projects post around the time of Inafune's departure got canceled. That's honestly one that I think that was honestly for the best.
Fair enough. Do you think he was just kind of like phoning it in at that point, and here we go. I think he was just kind of phoning it
involved in that one.
To and he was just really wanting to do Legends 3 instead. Anyway, don't mind me. I'm just doing a little bit of backtracking.
I feel like if I remember correctly, Maverick Hunter was being made by a completely different developer under the supervision of Capcom. I don't really know how much involvement Inafune had at that point.
Oh,
just that it was being made into a thing.
What was this? It is sufficient blast channel will likely result in complete destruction.
Wouldn't it be some bit of irony if that actually was Armature Studios before they went and did Recore?
That would be kind of funny.
Oh shoot! Come on.
Nope.
I mean, if it is, then well, there you have it. But otherwise, just nothing will ever sting more than the cancellation of Legends 3.
And maybe Mega Man Universe.
That's it.
What was Mega Man Universe?
It was basically going to be a. It was basically going to be one of those. Long story short, it was basically a pseudo sequel to Mega Man Powered Up, which had a more of a, basically Mega Man Mario Maker.
And it wasn't even just like Mega Man. You could also apparently play as Ryu and Arthur as well,
along with Bad Box Art Mega Man.
I know it's an actual thing, Celia, and the original project got canned. But have you heard of Legend Maker?
No.
So it started off as a oh dear, we got company. It started off as a very obvious Legend of Zelda maker in the same Link to the Past particular. What? Oh yeah, you did, yeah. So it started off as Link to the Past. It was clearly supposed to be a Link to the Past, like Mario Maker kind of thing. Until Nintendo kind of cracked down on it, which I'm sorry, it's kind of like the same thing with how AM2R. Yeah, kind of like with what happened to AM2R. It's like if Nintendo's gonna can a project like that, it's like then you do it. If you don't want us to make a game that's cool, then you make the game.
To be fair, Nintendo did eventually sort of make it in AM2R's case.
Well, yes, which that made perfect sense then, because otherwise it was a game that was old and they weren't doing anything with it. But as for Legend Maker, yeah, nothing really was made. So
to be fair, something technically was made. We just never got it.
Oh yeah, So anyway, so Legend Maker does exist. Celia, it's a. So they cut all ties to make it. They cut all name ties to Zelda, but if you look at it and what you're making, it's pretty much still Link to the Past Zelda. They just call it Legend Maker now.
And that wasn't enough for Nintendo to turn a blind eye. They pretty much.
They still canned it.
Yeah, they cracked down and cracked it.
But it's still some. Okay, it takes a couple tries. Okay. Also, I forgot. I actually have to get rid of this cordite thing first.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, I haven't been talking too much, by the way.
It's fine.
To say.
Now we can scan this pad. Now let's activate that pad thingy. What are some of your favorite first-person shooter games, John?
Well, Gui knows it the best that one of my favorite first-person shooters of all time is technically one that I'm playing right now, which is the Destiny series.
Nice.
The game is pretty solid. Don't want to get into too much details because I don't want to turn this into an hour-long video. But
well, how about some of the stuff that Valve made? Do you like Portal or TF2?
Yeah.
Or Half-Life.
Yeah, I like Half-Life. Currently in my Half-Life file, I have a corrupted section to where I basically walk up a certain section of stairs, and the game just closes immediately.
Ow!
Wow.
Yeah.
The doorway to heaven is closed even to mortals.
Has anyone else? Have you looked up any posts of anyone else experiencing that kind of issue?
I'm going to see if I can fix that issue. But the game ran pretty much perfectly up until that section, where it's just an abrupt crash.
Maybe you're just missing the file that's required.
Possibly.
Maybe.
Maybe like maybe if you did like maybe if you like backed up your save file but just did like a fresh reinstall of the game, maybe that would help.
Probably.
Anyway, welcome to another big area of East.
What the heck?
This is our first fight with something like this. Yeah. Apparently this is maybe from that evil legion that we saw in Metroid 2. These are evil Chozo ghosts.
Chozo ghosts.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
By the way, you say that, Logan. Spoilers for Metroid 2.
We talked about it at one point, didn't we? There we go.
Super Not in these videos.
Honestly, super missiles are your best bet against those things. Just like one or I think just 2 of them will destroy them. But until we get a visor, those things are gonna suck.
Oh yeah, and don't get comfortable because they start spamming those fuckers.
Also, on that,
especially in this area.
On that statue, I know that's supposed to be beak, but it kind of looked like a Gonzo nose to me.
Wow. Have some missiles over there if you want. I can't do a good Gonzo impression.
Oh, don't worry, Samus.
That's it. Well, Sammy, how you doing? Anyway, with that said...
What an odd way to end a part.
Yes, thank you. With that said, join us in the next part where we're going to actually have a cute little homage back to the Super Metroid days.
Till next time, everybody!
Bork, bork.